Hey you, I am Jaya from OFreak, and if you follow OFreak on Instagram, you must know that we've just completed an online writing event called Qua Writing, where every single penny we've received, we've donated to help the people who have been most affected by the coronavirus lockdown. And it was extremely thrilling for me to see so many people come forth and contribute, and we've actually managed to collect more than 12,000 rupees in less than 5 days. And now that I've tackled the most desperate issue, there was something else that was a little close to me, to be honest. And if you know me, you must know that I'm an absolute sucker for books. So much so that I've been reading around 2 books a day during this quarantine period. And well, like most of you, I've been getting DMs from people asking me the usual questions like, book suggestions and how on earth do I read so much and which is my favorite book. By the way, that is a question that I personally hate because I can never ever choose one book as my favorite. I mean, how on earth can anyone do that? And well, there's another question that is like my personal favorite, to be honest. They say that they really want to start reading and which book should they start with. And like most of you, when someone asks me this question, where they are an absolute fresher and they want to start their reading journey, I have around 5 books, like a buffer list kind of thing, that I suggest to anyone and everyone, like the people who come up with this question. And to be honest, I was absolutely fine with it because if I had to start my reading journey and if I had to choose the first books that would get me interested in reading, I would blindfolded I would choose these 5 books. So I obviously it was the best choice according to me, and it was absolutely fine until a friend of mine, he came up to me and he asked me this very same question. He said that he wanted to start reading but he didn't know where to start, and he had tried reading on his own, choosing his own books and stuff, but he couldn't get interested no matter what he tried. So I gave him the same buffer list. I gave him the 5 books, and in like a couple of days he texted me saying that he had started reading one of those books and he felt that it was really interesting and stuff. And I was absolutely thrilled because obviously, how many times do you have people who actually take up on your book suggestions, right? And especially one of those who have never ever finished a book in their lives. So I was amazed, like, to be honest. And after a week or two, I saw him somewhere and I went up to him. I asked him, I really wanted to know, so I asked him how he found the book. What were his views and stuff. And trust me, this is what he said. He turned around, he shrugged, and he said, I don't think reading is something for me, so I stopped. You have no idea how hard that sentence of his hit me because as a bookworm, as somebody who loves books as much as I do, this realization that someone has stopped reading even before they've started, especially with the suggestions that I have given, that we've given from our part, it is very heartbreaking. But I mean, I felt very guilty, like especially that night I actually went home and I was rethinking all the book suggestions that I've ever given to people in my life, and trust me, there've been a lot of them. So I've been wondering, like, how many of them had stopped reading after those books and stuff like that, and it had been badgering me so much more than I was willing to admit at that point. And to be honest, I actually understood where he came from because when someone comes up to me with this question, they consider me as the best source for advice regarding books. And I can't blame them. I know I am because I read a lot. And they think that if I can't manage to get them to read something, they believe that they're just not cut out for reading. And that is really disturbing because you and me, that's the last thing we want, right? So, like, after this non-profit event that I've conducted, my next goal is to tackle this issue. which is why I'm introducing a segment called What If You Read, where I'm asking all of the people that I know are as much invested into books as I am to pitch their bestest and their favoriteest book. Like, because I have been giving the same 5 book suggestions, and I'm sure most of you are doing the same. But not everyone can like the same 5 books, right? So I am asking you to pitch your favorite book. And trust me, when I say pitch, I am not asking you to write a book review. That is the last thing I want, because God knows we already have more than enough of those. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that book review blogs are bad, because I have found the best of books that I've ever read from these blogs. But for someone who has just started reading, these review blogs can be a little overwhelming to turn to. So what I want is, like, I want you to choose one book, just one book. And I know, trust me, if anyone knows how hard that is, I am the one. But for this, I want you to put forth the bestest of suggestions. Like, I want to present them with the very creamiest layer for them to choose from. So that's it. Like, choose one book, and in not more than 70 to 100 words, you have to convince them why they should read it. And well, to be honest, it is going to help more people than you might think. And trust me, I'm not sending this audio to everyone. I have either, spoken to you at some point of time, and I know for a fact that you love books as much as I do, or I stalk through your profile and I know, like, I've been impressed by your choice of books, or I send this to a friend of yours and he or she thinks that you are as much of a bookworm as they are, and which is why they forwarded this message to you. To submit the pitch for your favorite book, either visit www.ofreak.com/submit, or you can just DM them to ofreak on Instagram. I can work with either of them. If you have any friends who are just as crazy about books as you are and want to help with this initiative to help inculcate the habit of reading, do forward this message to them. And I really want I need all the help that I can get from you guys, because I have always believed that everyone is a reader. They just haven't found the right book. And maybe, just maybe, your book could be their right book. So, yeah, I hope you do it.